Hello and welcome to another episode of My Career. My name is Moyolania, and I have with me today on the show a very versatile woman. Let me go the feminist way. She's very versatile. She's touched, so many fields. I'll allow her to do an introduction by herself. But I have with me Mrs. Evelyn Okere. You're welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me allow you. Can we meet you?
I'm just a simple woman. I'm married with 3 kids, triplets, and I'm a politician, a fashion designer. I'm into the oil and gas business, which is what my husband does, but I'm part of the whole business, so I have a little bit of knowledge on shipping, cargoing, and so on and so forth. And I'm into health products. I've touched a whole lot of place, but I'm more interested in delivering good quality service and product in everything that I do, and that includes plus politics and everything. So whatever I want to do, I do it, and I do it extremely well. So in every which part of sector that I'm in, I'm very, very good at it. That's one thing that's very peculiar about me.
Okay, so you've been in telecoms, you've been in the banking,
Yeah.
energy, politics. So what are the highlights? What are some key moments, you can share with us in specific fields?
I think one of the most interesting things is part of my life is having my family and managing my family, plus with this intricate fabric of all the things that I'm interested in, which is like politics, which is time consuming.
Yeah.
Then my fashion house, which is Rose Yomini. I create most of the designs. But I'm trying to get somebody who can, like a mentor, to take that part. And I have the amazing girls that work with me, which is Chidima, Chadika, and Chadika Nam, and of course Nek and Naji. So I'm kind of lucky to have right people with me. So it's been somehow I've been able to manage all that. But I'm really, I like fashion. I just like the fact I like to see clothes play on the body, the human body, whether it's a male, whether it's a female.
Yeah.
I just love the play of fabric, different texture of fabric, on that physique, but either male or female. So, and politics, I'm passionate about it. What is politics is delivering something to a group of people, and you deliver good quality service to them.
Sure.
I believe in helping people, organizing them, and putting them in the right path, which is what politics should be, really.
Yeah.
But of course, we know the story of Nigeria.
All right. So let me ask. All these things okay, for instance, you were in banking, telecoms. Did you venture into all these fields one after the other, or you were actually juggling everything?
Okay, well, not everything. It's like as you're growing from your secondary school to the university. I'm a BA honors in history from University of Nigeria in Soka.
Okay.
Coming out, of course, when you come out, you do your youth service. From your youth service, you're now beginning to channel yourself. Okay, what do I really want to do? I went into the banking, had a taste of it, and I don't think it was fun for me. I mean, there was money in there. Who doesn't want money? But it wasn't fun for me. It was too monotonous. I mean, I couldn't flow with it. Then I went to America. When I got to America, America was too crazy for me also. Or more or less, I was kind of homesick, and I came back. And it was when I came back, I got into the telecoms. Then the GSMs were coming out at that time. The Econet at the time, and of course MTN. So we were one of the pioneers, staffs of the company, and I kind of had fun with it. I was in the sales and marketing department. Of course, I performed excellently well, but when it was time for me to leave, I had to go to do some other things that was interesting to me.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Still with me is Mrs. Evelyn Okere. I'll be back. welcome back. It's still my career, and I still have with me Mrs. Evelyn Okere Evelyn. Okay, so your decision to go into politics, did you have enough support from your family, especially your husband?
I would say I started politics when I came back from America. I joined a couple of a group, and I saw what was going on. And you know, in school, when you read history, you read the history of the world, and it's always mostly the political side and what it takes for leaders to be who they are. So, I mean, of course, you know, it's terrible. And I used to remember arguing with some of my professors and challenging them in class. So, of course, when I came in, and I kept on commenting and lamenting to some of the things that was happening in Nigeria. Of course, it was very easy for. So I started, you know, like when I was a spinster. It wasn't as if I started when I got married. So my husband met me in politics, actually in the streets of politics, you know, demanding for rights and fighting for the injustice melted on people. So politics it just came naturally, and I demanded and I got my way. I demanded for things for people, and I got things done for a lot of people with the contact that I had. Of course, you know, politics is if you have, of course, the kind of relationship that is where whoever is a politician in office understands your capacity and what you're ready to do. He works with you to deliver to the people.
Sure.
The guy, like now we have the new governor. He's not going to come to the whole crowd. There's somebody that's going to use to get to the people.
Sure.
So that's the system that works. So I was able to deliver to a couple of politicians. I've worked with them, you know, extremely powerful politicians in Nigeria. So my record is quite clear, very glaring.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. So what has actually been your major challenge about Nigeria, the Nigeria system, the economy? What has been the major challenge for you?
I think one of the major challenges is the fact that the leadership psychology of Nigeria keeps tending to one angle, which is get into office, fight, get into office, get there, just make money and ignore the people. Because there's this psychology that, I mean, I fought my way. I struggled to be there. I'd had sleepless nights. It took me through 2 or 3 months to fight. I spent my money. I went here, I went there. And somehow I kind of manipulated or convinced people to vote for me. And when I get there, I shut the door because these people didn't know how much I suffered. And then when they get there, they use the position to, of course, amass a lot of money, which you can see now that Nigeria is not an entrepreneurship economy. It is a be in politics, public funds grabbing economy. So if you're not in any of the political positions, you can't make money, which is not supposed to be.
Sure.
So the challenge I have is from the grassroots to those at the top. It's not only the politicians that are at fault, because we at the grassroots here have the same psychological mentality.
Sure, that's true.
But if we from here, because all these people there are coming from our local government, our wards, we see them every day before they took the position.
Yeah,
what was the perception? How did we present ourselves, or how did they present themselves to us?
That's true.
You understand? So, and one thing I find challenging is that we love to throw the challenge or blame game. We like to point, this guy is so bad. Meanwhile, the person that is pointing is worse than the person that he's pointing at.
Sure.
And we don't try to get our information right before we start to blame anyone. If some of these things can change, maybe we can start to have the right kind of leadership where people are concerned about making a good name than making a whole lot of money. Because at the end of the day, money is good. Who doesn't want to have money? But there should be something that gives you the joy even after you've made the money. Where people can give you accolade for being a human being, the right person, and appreciated by people. I think that should be what it.
Let's look at the gender in politics in Nigeria. I think it's just of recent that our leaders are kind of becoming open to having women in their cabinet. I mean, if you tell an average Nigerian, we want a woman to be president, the next thing you hear is no, never, no, it's not going to happen. So what's your take on this whole...
To be honest, I don't think anybody has said it's not going to happen. in Nigeria that a woman can be a president. I think that's limiting the woman's psychology to say that she can demand to be a president. Any woman can come out and say she can be a president. The problem I have with a female being a president is two things. One, the Nigerian culture. I'm from the southeast, for example, and my husband is from, of course, the south. The culture, and Nigeria is a ethnic based country, and most of the culture demands women should be, suppressed. Women are coming out. We've seen different governments bring out a lot of women, and have put some women out there. The issue I have is that cultural thing where the male feels that any woman that has the ability or the intellectual capacity to deliver should not be, put in position. If they allow everybody to have a level playing field and not play some of the politics against the women, okay? And financially, that women are not as wealthy as some of our men.
Sure.
And that's why we can start to talk about designing. Just to crack up, let's, crack up the tension. So for me, the second thing is, for women, the women group, we have the crap mentality. If anybody's going there, pull her down. So we pull ourselves down. We're not coming together to support and say, look, this person has the capacity. This person has intellectual. If we all put our hands together and demand this, she can get it. And that's really what should happen in Nigeria right now. Sure. And in 2023, I think I will support any woman, even if it's me or anybody who wants to come out to be president of Nigeria. They have the personality and the character to carry it. Okay. I think so.
Okay, so finally, let's digress a little bit and move on. There's so many rape allegations going on. We have the old equal pay for especially sportsmen and women, fighting for equal pay and stuff like that. So do you think that for Africa, for Nigeria and Africa as a whole, do you think we have actually gotten to that point where the female voice is actually heard?
That's in sports, right? Or just generally?
Generally.
Africa, over time, if you look at the history of Africa, we've had a lot of presidents, male presidents, and most of them with their different characters and how they have kind of supported the economies and the political gain in their different countries. Now, if it's about women having a fair share in politics in Africa, they haven't. Though we've had a lot of female presidents, like the Liberian president, who was once a female, but we haven't had that in so many African countries. And if you can see what she's done in Liberia, a bit of stability is in Liberia now compared to what it was before. And I think most African countries should start giving women that opportunity to play the role. Because at the end of the woman is the person that understands familyhood, togetherness. That's just a gift given to her naturally from God. If they allow some women, and if you see most of the European countries where women are prime ministers and what you see what is happening, it's kind of stability. They have empathy, they have feeling, they know, this is not right, and don't think that they don't know how to be hard and mean and to take a decision. So in saying that, I don't understand why the female football team should not be paid as much as the male football. I think they should even be paid more, because it takes a lot for a woman to go on that field, to run around and kick the ball. What's the competition for, really? I don't know. You're a man. You're stronger. What are we competing? Are we competing, demanding more power from you, from God? The strength has been given to you. But when a woman goes out of her way, with all the things she has to go through, and do something that you've done, I think it's good to pat on the back and show that gratitude that you are supporting what she's doing. So I don't understand why it should be women should be getting this amount of and the men should be getting. Please. That's the problem. That's I'm telling you that this same cultural thing, women should be relegated to the background. It's just, some countries or cultures have gone beyond that, and the women are making outstanding things all over the world, especially the Nigerians, intellectually as well.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. It's been a fantastic time with you, Ma. Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
so
me on the
much.
show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, this has been Mrs. Evelyn Okere Evelyn.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Join me again next time on another episode of My Career. I'm Moyolania. Bye.